What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Brave Soul's Utility Guide. This time we're doing Squad 4. I know it was up in the air whether I was going to do Squad 4, Yoroichi, or the Visors or something next, but I kind of wanted a short one today because I'm feeling pretty full. I had a really big lunch and I just kind of want to get this over with. So that's why we're ending with, or we're going with Squad 4 because they don't have very many members. They have the 9 Retsus, 2 of the Isanes, and only 1 of each of the Yamada brothers. So yeah, if this is your first time watching a utility guide, basically what I do is I take each of these characters and I put them under one or more of these categories. If they're not really a good character, I'll put them under orbs or links only. There are some exceptions because sometimes, you know, exceptions can happen, but we'll get to those if it comes to it. We're gonna start off with Hanataro here, the first and only 5-star Hanataro. He is a healer. His strong attack 2 is a heal move. He does have damage reduction. Unfortunately, the character himself is not very good. He's very slow. He does have a decent killer, and he does have frenzy, but he doesn't have a good kit. He's got very bad moves, unfortunately. That said, because he can resist damage, because he can heal, I am going to put it under support. He technically should go under boss killer or versus bosses, because I guess you can use him for that. Like I said, he has frenzy. He's just a very slow character. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you have to, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him down here. So that means if any of them I decide to put them on the bottom, it means they are good for that, but you know, maybe other options first. Next up we have the what's her name? Isane, the original Isane, the power version of Isane, the resurrected power version of Isane. This character's not good. She's ranged, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but her normal attacks aren't piercing, which does make her significantly slower. She has bombardment, which, you know, good for her special, I guess, but it does mean that her actual strong attacks aren't going to deal that much damage. She did get a little better once resurrected. She definitely got a better link, with it being a full stamina damage link, and considering her other link as a 25% stamina recovery after every area, it's actually a really good link. But unfortunately, that's all she is. It's just a really good link, so I'm gonna put her here. If you have her, definitely max her out, because like I said, her link is useful, but the character herself, not so much. Alright, next up we have the mind version of Isane. I actually do like this character, you know, unlike this other one. She does have a really high SP. She's got Berserker, she's got Frenzy. Her strong attacks deal a lot of damage. And all of her strong attacks, except for her strong attack 2, have a chance to inflict debilitating paralysis. Her strong attack 2 is it's a barrier move, which comes in handy quite a lot. Because of this, she is a support character, because like I said, barrier move. She's also pretty good for boss killing, because you can just use that barrier, go up against bosses, and since she has debilitating paralysis, she can just spam that. So, quite a useful character if you ask me. Aside from that, I'd say she's probably also decent for autoing. So I am going to put her there, but I'm going to put her on the lower end because she's going to be a little slower, and the barrier is going to help, but because she's going to have to rely on her strong attacks, it's going to be a little bit slower. That said, you can still auto with her, just, you know, build her correctly. Aside from that, though, that's it. Alright, next up we have the OG Retsu. OG Retsu is also, she's kind of on the same boat as Isane down here. She's not a good character. Her normal attacks aren't piercing. She does have a healing strong attack, but the character herself sucks. If you have her, get her orbs, and that's about it. That's all she's good for. Okay, now there's the swimsuit version of Retsu. So, if you don't know, the original swimsuit characters were basically copy and paste of other 5-stars. So for example, this one was a copy and paste of the OG Retsu. The only difference is she's got a boosted 25% stamina recovery, so it's 5% more than the original, and her second link is a strong tech recharge link. So she's actually a really good really good link for tech, because she can recover and because she has an additional strong tech recharge link. So she's not a good character, but definitely max her out for her link because it is a very useful link. I use it all the time for my characters. Next up, we have the mind version of Retsu. She sucks. I'm gonna put it there. Next up, we have the tag team version of Retsu. This character is actually, I like her. She's actually pretty useful. She's got Frenzy, she's got a high SP, she's also got Bruiser at 30%, she's got a double killer, which is quite handy, she's got debilitating paralysis on all of her strong attacks, and her strong attack 2 is a vortex move that surrounds her, making her even more useful for autoing, honestly. Her link is a boosted 25% stamina recovery link, so even more useful for autoing. Honestly, Despite being a high SP character, she's quite useful for autoing, so I'm gonna go ahead and put her there. In addition to that, she's also a really good boss killer because she can heal herself from area to area, and because she can inflict debilitating paralysis so easily with that strong attack too, as well as the other strong attacks. We're gonna go ahead and put her under boss killer as well. I think that's about it though. I don't think I could put her anywhere else and feel comfortable saying that she's particularly useful for those. But she is a remarkable character. If you have her, you're gonna need to use her. She's quite useful in certain situations. Next up, we have the manga version of Retsu. Oh boy, this Retsu. The original queen of PvP. She was the queen of PvP for a very long time. I'm gonna go ahead and set her down there for now. Really good for PvP. She's got counters now with Noitora, Full Hollow Ichigo, and a bunch of other characters now. But she can still hold her own in PvP. I definitely still use her in my teams for a while. She's also got a healing move, strong attack 2, damage reduction, meaning she is good for both bosses since she can just heal herself constantly and not take any damage. She's also an excellent support character. She's also an excellent auto character. Honestly, this character was amazing for like the first several years she was out. She's still amazing now. She's just not as fast of a character as she used to be because of all the killer multiplications, and she does have a captain killer. Still, really good character. Next up, we have the Christmas version of Retsu. She can inflict debilitating burn on all of her attacks. One of her strong attacks is a hybrid vortex move, so it hits just a little bit more than a regular strong attack would. She can inflict burn with that a little easier than most characters could if they could inflict burn, so I'm going to go ahead and put her under versus bosses since she can inflict burn on those bosses. Aside from that though, thank you Motorcycle. I hope the mic didn't pick that up. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. She's a really good boss killer, and she can, I guess, clear a quest relatively in good time, but not, it's not in anything, it doesn't stand out, at all. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave her under versus bosses. Next up, we have the power version of Retsu. She's got a really high attack. She's got a piercing normal attack, which is really useful. I think at this point, everyone's just gonna have a piercing normal attack since she's a relatively new character in terms of the game. High attack, bruiser at 80, can inflict debilitating lacerate on her strong attack 3, and her special, I think it's debilitating. Her special also heals her, and she's got a barrier move for her strong attack 2, making her a really good support character. And she's also a really good auto character because she can put up a shield, she can deal damage from a distance, and she can inflict a ton of damage with her normal attack. She is slower though, I will say. She is a bit slower because while she does deal a lot of damage with her normal attack, ranged characters typically are slower when it comes to autoing. That said, she is very reliable. She's also completely immune to being burned, so, that is actually going to come in handy. Okay, here's the one that okay, here's the human killer. We have the heart version of Retsu. She is, I think, either her or the Machine Society one or the newest one. I can't remember. She's got really good moves. I actually quite like her moves. Unfortunately, she's got a human killer, and that's pretty much useless unless you're in Senkaimon, and that's about it. That said, her moveset and her strong... She's got a really high SP, Berserker, and Frenzy. Her strong attacks can actually deal a ton of damage. So I would actually put her under clear time if it wasn't for that killer. She's actually a really good PvE character unless the killer is multiplied, so I'm gonna put her here. If you don't know what the PvE slot is for, it's basically if I can't justifiably put him in any of these areas, but also they don't really belong in the orbs and link slot area, I'm gonna put them under PvE, meaning they are good for PvE, but for some reason or another, I could not put them in any of the other areas. Next up, we have the Machine Society version of Retsu. I really like this character. She's got a really useful kit. Her strong attacks can all inflict debilitating freeze. She's got Frenzy. She's got a crazy range. She's got Havoc. And she's got Guard Break. She's a very good character, and her strong attack 1, while at a distance doesn't deal as much damage as other characters' strong attack 1s. At close range, she's very likely to inflict freeze with it because of what it is. She can also inflict debilitating paralysis on her normal attack. I'm going to put her under clear time. Her strong attack 1 is the only kind of exception for that clear time because of what it is. But I'd still put her under clear time because of the range of her other strong attacks and because she has got Havoc at 20 and a Guard Break as well. I'm also going to put her under versus bosses because she can inflict debilitating paralysis, or I guess debilitating freeze so easily. And I think that's it, honestly. She's a really, really good character, but I can't justifiably put her in any other area, so I think I'm gonna leave her here. Next up, we have Seinosuke. Seinosuke is a really good character with a high SP, Berserker at 40, Bruiser at 40, Frenzy, a really fast normal attack. He's a healer. His heal move is also a hybrid vortex move that pushes enemies back. Great range thanks to Havoc. He's a really good character. I'm going to go ahead and put him under support because he is a healer. His heal move is also a barrier move, so he's got that going for him as well. I'm also going to put him under versus bosses because of this reason. It's not like he can do burn damage or anything like that, but when you have a heal move that's also a barrier move, you're probably not going to lose to a boss. I'm also going to put him under autoing because I did not mean to... I did not mean to do that. I meant to copy him. Yay, professional. Alright, I'm also going to put him under autoer because, like I said, he is a ranged character with a barrier move, and he's got Bruiser at 40, which is actually pretty good for a high SP character. His normal attacks are still going to deal a decent amount of damage. Plus, since he has guard break, he doesn't really have to worry about having to break guards that way. I think that's it, though. He's got good range on his strong attacks, but I wouldn't put him under clear time because his strong attack 2 doesn't come back as fast as others. But that said, I think this is a solid area to leave this at. Honestly, I always like looking at this list when I'm done with it because it always looks so different depending on who all is in the banner. Like Ichigo had a few characters under high damage. This character has quite a few under auto as well as versus bosses and support because they're healers. It's always interesting to me who goes where and what the finishing product looks like. But I hope this helped out. Let me know what you thought of this list. I know there's always difference in opinions, and that's fine too because we're all human. With that said, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, which should be next week. We'll see if it's Squad 5 or maybe the Visors. I don't know. Hopefully I won't eat a really big lunch then and I can spend I could have a little more energy. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.